Hi there, it's Coach Monica here. I am so happy that you decided to join this class today. This is a really serious class. This is not a typical class that I like to teach or that I'm good at teaching. So I just want to thank you in advance for your patience with me as I teach on this very, very serious topic. It's a very serious topic, and it's close and it's near and dear to my heart because I have had the privilege of coaching over 3 years now, and I see patterns happen. I see patterns happening that there's so much hope and so many things we can do to prevent these things from happening that I feel like a whole entire class is needed to prevent this. You see, I love my clients. I love them with every fiber of my being, and I fight for them. My team fights for their clients. We take this very, very seriously, and when we see patterns emerging, and when we see things happen that we're like, oh my gosh, we can stop this. Because, my friend, let me tell you, the things that I'm going to talk about today are not just things that are happening to you. You see, a lot of times I have clients who will say, Monica, you posted in Facebook group and that was about me. And I really feel like that's like a confidentiality thing. You know, I feel like you shouldn't be talking about me. Fact is, my friend, it's not just you. You are not alone. And there's hope. And so today I want to talk to you about something that's near and dear to my heart in hopes that will prevent something similar to happen to you. So let's start talking. I want to start by opening with a couple of scenes. Okay. Now, these scenes are very familiar. You're going to relate to one of these scenes. Okay. All right. So I want to talk to you about a couple of different ones. Okay. First of all, when you called me, you had your enough moment. I've read them, right? I've read them. I know about your enough moment. You've done all of the things. Spiritually, you have experienced joy. A lot of times of the three things, body, mind, and spirit, sometimes the spiritual things, it's really hard to say, hey, nail that one down and say, hey, oh my gosh, I haven't experienced joy like this in a long time. And so spiritually, you've experienced joy. Mentally, you thought you were all in, right? You thought at the beginning, remember at the beginning, I'm all in. It is on. We are doing this thing, right? You felt the ketones kick in. You know what it feels like for those ketones to kick in. You've survived the keto flu, right? Remember the keto flu? You feel supported because of this amazing group, because of your coaches, because you're not alone. You feel supported. The scale is moving, even if it's moving slowly. Things are proceeding nicely. You've lost a significant amount of weight. And you're so close to obtaining your ideal goal weight, and then something happens. And that's what I want to talk to you, my dear friend, about today. Something begins to happen in your life. Sometimes it's quick and swift, knocks you on your butt. Other times it's gentle and almost unnoticeable. Okay? So as I'm talking to you, my friend, I want you to put yourself into the story, okay? I want you to put yourself into this story because this story is you. This story is me, okay? Nobody here is exempt. It's a safe place, okay? So I want you just to slip into the story. You will be in here somewhere, okay? So I want you to imagine this. It's 8:00 p.m. in your house. Your family is getting ready to watch their favorite TV show. Your husband grabbed this bowl of popcorn with extra butter on it, and here you are. You pass the sink. You've done the dishes for the night. You pass this big honkin' bowl of popcorn, extra butter on it. Sometimes mindlessly, without even thinking about it, you eat a bite. Oh, gosh, I just had popcorn. I just did something mindlessly. Oh my gosh. You eat it, then you feel guilt. Anybody? connect with the guilt factor? The next day, you had a plan. You ate that piece of popcorn, you ate that whatever it was on the counter, you felt guilt. You thought, I've just screwed up. I might as well eat the whole thing. So you do. The next day, you plan to cleanse yourself out because you felt the guilt. But this time, that cleanse that was so easy with me at the beginning was just a little bit harder. This time you felt yucky. Perhaps the keto flu rears its head again and you feel gross, but also you feel emotional gross, right? You can't take it. You feel that gross. I've already eaten it, so I might as well just do it again, right? So the binge begins. Started with that one kernel of popcorn at night. You fail again because you had another bad day. The trigger cravings were too much for you. The depression sets in and you begin to feel the downward spiral of guilt. Depression sets in because you just couldn't do it. I want you to go with me to scenario 2. Scenario 2 is this. Ladies, it's your 25th anniversary and your hubby, bless his heart, who knows that you're on keto, right? He knows you're on keto, but he comes barreling home with this box of chocolates. They weren't even good ones, but he brought this beautiful box of chocolates home. You felt bad because number one, he remembered your anniversary, right? Number one, he remembered it. So yay, yay. So you take just one chocolate because you didn't want to hurt his feelings. And by golly, he remembered. That chocolate ends up to 2 chocolates, to 3 chocolates, to 4 chocolates. And because you have failed, right, you start on the downward slope. Here's another one. Your coworker. Your coworker, number one, has keto shamed you, and she has just been waiting for you to fail because you have failed. In fact, you and she both have tried dieting for life. You are expert dieters, and so she's already failed in the attempt to do it again. So she's razzing you, just waiting for you to fail, and she brings a box of donuts. And let's just spice this story up a little bit. Amish crack donuts. If you live in northern Indiana, you know exactly what I mean by Amish crack donuts, right? They melt in your mouth. You drool because it's so yummy. She brings that into the office in the break room, and they're just sitting there. And she begins to razz you again because she knows you're going to fail. She knows because she has already failed. So what do? You get tired of it. You get tired, you get weary, you get so tired of having to defend your health that you take just one bite. That just one bite leads you down a 50-pound sugar binge. She's gotten her way because she's already failed. And now she's gotten her way because now you have gone down the same path. Let's talk about grandma. This one's hard, right? I remember walking into my grandma's house. You don't want to hurt grandma's feelings. Grandma has a special smell. When you walk into her house, she has a special smell. She has a special look to her. She wants to hug you with her arms and her chocolate chip cookies. You don't want to offend her, right? Just one bite. 50-pound sugar binge. But along with the 50-pound sugar binge, that doesn't stop there. It comes with guilt, condemnation, and shame. All of it comes together, right? What about this one? It's my birthday. You have to eat cake, right? Who has a birthday without cake? Or it's your mom's birthday. You have to have cake. It's what we've always done. It's the tradition of the American population. Emotional eating is powerful. If you have not watched my session on emotional eating, please go back and do it again. Emotional eating is power. Now, I want you to brace yourself with this one, y'all. This one's hard for me to talk about, okay? It's hard because I hear your heartbeat. I see you. I see what you've been through. I see what you've gone through. Okay? So bear with me on this one. Trauma. You've lost 50 pounds. You feel incredible. However, this weekend, you notice something. You notice when you were going to Kohl's or TJ Maxx, you noticed your steps were a little bit lighter. You felt a little bit sexier. You felt pretty. You noticed, however, when you walked into that store, you saw a man in the corner of your eye taking a double look at you. Your stomach did a flip-flop at that moment, but not because you were flattered, not because you felt pretty, but because you remember the night you were hurt. You remember the night some man hurt you. This is just an overview. You put your own story in there, okay? You remember when the trauma happened. You remember that moment you never wanted to feel pretty again. You never deserved to feel pretty again. So you cover up those feelings after you leave the store with a trip to McDonald's, with a trip to the nearest fast food, because you want to cover up those feelings of hurt, of betrayal, of trauma. You don't feel you deserve to be pretty. You've been there, done that. You're not going there again. And so you get right up to the moment of feeling pretty and feeling healthy and feeling whole again. And you bring in something that we're going to talk about today. In all of these scenarios, you feel so disappointed. You feel frustrated regarding your inability to lose weight yet once again. And so you decide to give up. Does any of this sound familiar? If so, I want you to know you're not alone, my dear. You are not alone. I've been there. I've felt these things. I've done these things. And this is individual for you. So I do not want to downplay any personal trauma, any personal experience. I just want you to hear you're not alone. Thousands of dieters suffer from this phenomenon. And in my experience of coaching, I call it the 30 to 50 pound syndrome. You've heard me talk about it. You've heard me warn you about it. Something happens at that 30 to 50 pound mark that we do something that I'm going to talk about today. I've been coaching long enough to know the pattern, to know the signs, to know the feel. When I'm on the phone with you, I hear it. I hear when we are about to turn this on. And I hate it. I hate it with a passion. I hate it with everything in me because I want to see you succeed. So why are we our worst enemy? Why do we let others stand in the way of our weight loss? Why do we do that? It's 3 words. Self-sabotage syndrome. It's called self-sabotage syndrome. And I want to have a real conversation about it today because someone is living right here in this world today. And someone is about ready to fall off their journey because they are going to let self-sabotage take over intentionally. Some intentionally, but mostly you know it's coming. You feel it. You know it. You're feeling it right now as you're hearing me speak. As I'm talking to you, I want you to put yourself in this story, okay? I want you to put yourself right in the middle of it. It happens to all of us, so you're not alone. It's completely normal. And let me tell you, sister, there is complete healing and there's complete hope for this. Okay? Before we figure out how to fix ourselves, we have to know what it is. So what is self-sabotage? And that's what I want to teach you today. We use the word sabotage all the time. All the time in life we use the word sabotage. The definition of sabotage means to destroy. The definition of sabotage means to destroy. Self-sabotage means to destroy yourself. In weight loss, self-sabotage is purposeful, and sometimes it's unconscious. Through thought, through feelings, through behaviors that attempt to destroy your weight loss journey. It happens through thoughts, through feelings, and through behaviors. These things can be prevented, and that's what I want to talk to you about today. There are 3 common forms of self-sabotage in your weight loss journey. Are you ready for them? Self-sabotage, assisted sabotage, and frog in the kettle sabotage. We're going to talk about all of them. Self-sabotage is when you destroy your own ability to achieve your weight loss goals by working towards your weight loss goal and then retracting from it. So pushing hard, you're all in, and then suddenly, retracting, picking up that piece of things that you know are not keto when you're with your friends, doing something intentional to self-sabotage your journey. Your own mind becomes your biggest enemy, and your own thoughts will sever the ability to affect your behaviors of change. Your own mind destroys your ability. For example, when you start this new lifestyle, you have a positive attitude. I love my intake calls because you all are all in. When it comes down to the 4th, 5th meeting with you, things change. Okay? When it comes down to that 30-pound mark, suddenly I am wrestling with another journey that I didn't even know was there, right? So at first, I believe I can do this. I believe. You remember your enough moment? I remember yours. I remember when you told me. I remember those of you who have not given me one, and I know the destination when you don't have an enough moment. But you have a positive attitude, and then over time something happens. The I can do this turns to I can't do this, or this is too hard, or the coach doesn't know what she's talking about, or I don't like the coach anymore, or I don't want to be told what to do anymore. Your initial thought of I can change is overridden by the I'm unable to change. I've done this before. All of those old mindsets start to kick in. My family has always been this way. So you begin to compromise. Excuse after excuse after excuse. Did you know you can talk yourself in and out of victory within 10 seconds, and you can talk yourself in and out of defeat in 10 seconds? We have the capability, our minds are so powerful, we have the capability to talk ourselves in or out of anything in 10 seconds. This happens when you're looking for a way out. Some of you guys, some of you girls are looking for a way out right now. I hear it in our phone calls. I hear it. I know it. I see it. I have enough experience to know when it's happening. Even subconsciously, without knowing it, you're talking yourself out of it. You're looking for a way out of it. You're looking for that excuse. You're looking for your coaches to say that one thing that'll tick you off so that you can get your butt out of here. Self-sabotage. It's more than a decision to cheat. So sometimes we have that decision, we're like, I'm cheating, right? But this is way more than a decision to cheat. Although self-sabotage, and I see it every day, self-sabotage can come in the form of rebellion. Sometimes we reach that point in our journey where you're like, I don't care I did not hire this coach to tell me what to do. And you get this really, really big head and you're like, no, she's not telling me. I've done this before. I know how to do this. I know, and you fire the coach, right? So that happens. But it's more than that. It's sometimes unfulfilled. It's sometimes frustration. It's discouragement. It's that dang scale. And yes, your coach just cussed. Yes, she did. It's that dang scale. That dang scale, I want to throw it out the window sometimes because that thing is the worst weapon in self-destruction. What are the reasons for self-destruction and self-sabotage? What are the reasons? Why do you work so hard to diet, to lose weight, only to destroy your own efforts, to destroy my own effort? Why do we do that? It would seem foolish that after eating healthy and eating this balanced, wonderful meals for a significant amount of time that you would refuse to binge and that you would resist this. But no, it's not that easy, honey. It is not that easy. Even as you're consuming the unhealthy food, you know you should not be eating it, but you just can't stop. Why is that? There's several reasons. Let's talk about them. Most often, it's due to lack of self-esteem, lack of self-confidence, lack of self-worth, and or self-belief. Most often, it goes back to that evil demon of lack of self-confidence, self-worth, and self-belief. Negative thoughts about yourself and your ability to lose weight undermine your weight loss efforts. That's why positive affirmations in your journey are absolutely critical. And you think, Coach, that has nothing to do with weight loss. It has everything to do with weight loss. When you believe the negativity, when you believe those negative things, what goes up in your mind comes out in your outward actions and your outward body composure. If you don't believe it's going to happen, my friend, it's not going to happen. If you believe that you are going to lose weight, you believe you're healthy, you believe I am this, I'm this, I'm this, and all of the self-positive affirmations, those things work. What comes out the mouth happens in the body. The messages you give yourself through conscious or even unconscious negative self-talk have massive, fierce power and ability to affect your feelings, behaviors, and your results. Start talking positive, guys. Get over this negative self-talk. Get over it. Get it out. When you see it happening, the minute it pops off your tongue, reverse it with what the opposite is. Remember, I did a video last week about what happens when you feed the fat girl inside of you. Not good things. Feed her positivity. Feed her new food of positive affirmations, of beauty. You also can suffer from self-sabotaging behavior because you are unable to effectively manage your emotions. Remember my emotional eating video. You have got to be able to handle and understand, be aware that those things exist and that you may have to do some self-love and some self-tough love and say, what the heck are you thinking? What do you want more? How bad do you want this? How bad do you want health? How bad do you want your mind back? You may have to do some self-tough love and stop giving yourself excuses to find an exit ramp. Another reason for self-sabotage may be because you have a conscious or unconscious fear of being deprived. Some of you have been abused in the past. Some of you have felt that deprivation in the past. I hear this all the time from clients. You're hosting a birthday celebration and serving ice cream and cake. You really want to stick to your meal plan, but you're watching everyone else eat the goodies. Makes you feel left out and deprived. So what do? You self-sabotage. You either indulge with their guests, or some of you wait until they leave and you hide and you eat. Sneak into the kitchen and bring on a binge. Some of you have been hurt in the past. Perhaps there's been some abuse that has happened. Perhaps there's been some starvation in the past. Perhaps you have felt real physical deprivation. And so the feelings of feeling deprived again take you back to that moment. Additionally, feeling failure, because we've done this, y'all. We have done this. I have been on every diet hamster wheel in the book. We've done this. And so usually when we're feeling failure, we self-sabotage occurs because we see failure as the worst thing in the world, or as evidence, I knew this wouldn't happen. I knew I couldn't do this. I knew it. And you have set yourself up for failure on the front side. And so, yeah. You self-fulfill. It's a self-fulfillment prophecy. Regardless of your reasons for self-sabotage, my dear one, if you do not stop it, it will continue to eat at you. You will continue to feel a life living full of disappointments, regrets, unfulfilled expectations. Here's one. Here's one that hits a lot of my clients. This may not have been you. Everything I've talked about up to now may not have been you, but listen to this one. Being overconfident is a huge enemy, a huge friend to self-sabotage. Never underestimate your capacity for low self-awareness. And my pastor always says that. Never underestimate the capacity for low self-awareness. He always says to us in church, if you get a hate mail, if you get somebody who is giving you some critique, he's like, take 10% of it, because we are very, very good at underestimating our ability to be low self-aware. When you feel good about your lifestyle, it brings a sense of overconfidence sometimes. My friends are eating this way. They're out there. We're at Hacienda. They're eating this way. I can handle it. I don't need any help. I don't need any help from my coach. I don't need her to tell me what to do. I don't need any more advice. I've got this. Last famous words. I've got this. No, honey, you don't have it. None of us have the capacity to resist all the time. We have to be on our guard at all times. My friends are eating this way so I can handle it. This leads you down to a 50-pound sugar binge, along with shame and needless guilt. I am so sick of shame. I am so sick of guilt. I am sick of what it does to our bodies. There's no need for it. Rebellion. You get angry that you can't eat like your friends anymore, so you start blaming others for your unhappiness, for your weight loss failure. You start with the scale, and then you push. You start with the scale, getting angry with the scale. Gosh darn it, the scale's not moving, and then you push and you project that anger onto others. Full out rebellion leads to a 50-pound sugar binge. It does. It does. The scale is your worst enemy when it comes to self-sabotage. It gives you an excuse to get off that wagon at any time. I hate the scale. I hate it with a passion. Here are some signs that you are self-sabotaging. I'm going to go through this really quickly because we are hitting a 30-minute mark. Number one, if you're a negative thinker, just put yourself in these and ask yourself honest questions about this. Are you living in danger of being on the line of self-sabotaging and exiting your journey? Negative thinking. You focus only on the negative, you ignore the positive. Here's an example. This is number one conversation I have on my calls with you. I lost 3 pounds, but I still have 25 pounds to go. I only lost 3 pounds. I only did this. When you focus only on the negative, that's what you're going to get. And you're going to invite self-sabotage in like your best friend. Fear of failure. I feel this one hard. And I feel it hard even in maintenance. Fear of failure. I'm going to fail. You're going to gain it all back. Those things are number one. Number one, it brings up your cortisol. Cortisol spikes your insulin faster than any carb ever will. In the presence of insulin, you cannot lose weight. Closet eater, eating in secret. I know you've done it because I did it. We hide. We hide in shame. We hide in fear. This is the first step to self-sabotage. Blame. It's not my fault. I'm not doing this. My coach's fault. She's the one that did this. Oh, it's my friend's fault. Blaming others is a sign of self-sabotage. Negative self-talker. Ladies, can I talk to you for a minute? Can I ask you to invite healing into your life from this? And I'm talking to me too. This is a big one for me. Negative self-talk. I'm fat. I'm ugly. I'm not good enough. I don't deserve this. Ladies, I want you to reverse this. I don't care what it takes. A lot of us look at our weight loss journeys and we're like, I got to do all of this, this, and this, and this. The first thing you need to do is reverse this. The negative self-talk. And I'm talking to one of you in here right now about this next one. Expecting perfection. I have to eat perfectly, otherwise I'm going to fail. My macros have to be perfect or I'm going to fail. I failed, I might as well eat everything I want now because I failed. I couldn't do it perfect, so I failed, and I might as well just throw the towel in for the day. I might as well just eat crap for the day because I am not perfect. Number one, enemy, number one friend, of self-sabotage. Emotional eating. I'm so stressed out. I need to do this. My husband did this. My kids did this. I need. Right? Emotional eating. We've got to beat this emotional eating. And there is freedom from emotional eating. But it's knowing this on the front side, knowing the dangers. That's how we beat it. Focusing on the past, doom, gloom, self-defeating behaviors. I've never been able to lose weight. Ladies, if you tell me I've never been able to keep weight off, you won't keep it off. If you tell me I have never been able to lose weight and keep it off, I'm not going to be able to do it this time, you will and you won't. You won't. You won't keep it off because you have already set yourself up on the front side. Over dramatizing weight loss. Example is I have too much to lose. I have 100 pounds to lose. I will never be able to do it. You know what? You have that attitude, you will not be able to do it. I got some more here. The excuse factory. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, making excuses for not eating healthy. I'm too tired, too busy, too stressed. My friends are all doing this. It's my birthday. It's too hard. My aunt made it, so I have to eat it. I have a slow metabolism. I have thyroid issues. Excuse after excuse after excuse will never allow you to lose weight. Self-sabotage. Refusing to heal the hurt inside. Can I be honest with you and tell you I just went through this? Can I be honest with you and tell you that my pastor called me and said, Monica, you did a great job on your outside. I'm proud of you. But now, would you be willing to heal the inside? I said, Pastor Dave, I don't want to work on the inside because if I open that can of worms, it will hurt. He says, Monica, a can of worms will turn into maggots. And so I went through 8 weeks of intense counseling. It was the best thing I ever did. It was the best thing I ever did. And it was the best thing that I had a man in my life, my shepherd, my pastor, willing to tell me, Monica, let's work on the inside. If you don't work on the inside, that's why I tell you, meet with Connie, meet with your own therapist. I don't care who it is, work on the inside because that will kill the destruction that self-sabotage brings. We'll kill it instantly. Be willing to heal the inside. A can of worms turn into maggots. Yes, I had to go back to my past. I did. It hurt. I just texted my pastor on the way to do the radio show that I did the other day. I just texted him and said, I would have rather handed you a donut than do this. Heal the inside. Procrastination. The scale's not moving, so it must not be working, right? Wrong. That's self-sabotage, and that's an excuse. So how do you break free from self-sabotage? Let's end with this. I want to end with hope, okay? Do the things. I've taught you to do the things. Your coaches are teaching you to do the things. Science works. Do the things even without thinking about it. Eat keto. Go into autopilot because when these self-sabotage things hit, it's going to kick that in the butt because you're doing the things. You're not going to be knocked off course. Prepare, pre-plan, pre-think. Get yourself taken care of on the keto side. Do the science. Understand and learn the dangers of self-sabotage. You cannot heal from something that you don't know exists. Many times these become hidden habits that we don't even realize that they're there. Know those things. Know them. Understand your limitations. You are not perfect, my dear one. You're not perfect. Your macros are going to look like a mess some days, right? They will. They will look like a mess. Understand your limitations. Understand your why. Some of you need to go back and have an ugly cry again over your why. Be educated about this stuff and own it like a boss. You are a boss lady and you know it. Own this stuff. Recognize the habits. Is it procrastination? Is it negative self-talk? Is it perfectionism? What animal bites you in the butt? And the other word, what animal bites you in the butt? Sabotaging your journey. Write it down, journal it, think it, say it out loud. Admit it to your coaches, admit it to the group. What is it? What's the root cause? Go there. What is the root cause? Go there. Get counseling. You have to fix the past before you can be free, fully free. Affirmations, stop it with the negative talk. Stop it. If you're tempted to go on group and say, I am this, this, and this, reverse it. Tell these ladies, tell these gentlemen who you are, who you really are. Stop it with the negative self-talk. Practice a new habit. Say things out loud. Sometimes your mouth has to say it before your mind believes it. Get in the habit. 21 days builds a habit. 90 days builds a lifestyle. Say it out loud. Journal it. Some of you guys think that's the dumbest thing that your coach ever says. It is the smartest thing she says. Journal it. Find a yummy path. Guys, do not be a keto martyr. There is no reason for you to go to a party and have to ignore the cake and not have something for yourself. It's just selfish of you to do that. I'm going to just be frank with you. It is selfish of you to go to a party and not have yourself taken care of. Love yourself enough. You should not be deprived at a party. You should not be deprived at an event because you've pre-thought, you've pre-planned, and you've prepared. Don't be a keto martyr. Don't be a keto martyr. Change your behavior. Once you know your patterns, change the patterns. Sometimes some self-tough love is needed. You might need to have some self-tough love. And if you are getting ready to reach into that chip dip, no, you're not, because you've pre-thought. You've brought wisps to hacienda. You've brought pork rinds. You've brought your stuff, so you don't need to dip your fingers into the crap, right? Change your behaviors once you know who you are. One of these things resonated with you. You know who you are. Now, change the behavior. Set goals and plan meals one at a time. Pre-plan. Some of you are just lazy. That was me. I can say that out loud because that was me. I'm lazy. I don't want to pre-plan. I don't want to pre-think, and I don't want to prepare because I just want to live life. I want life handed to me on a fast food plate. I want the pizza guy delivering it to my door. I don't want to have to work for it. That's what got me into the position I was in. Okay? I know that's tough, but that was me. That's why I can talk about it. That was me. I was lazy. I put myself last. I got to be this 250, I can't even point at her. I got to be this 250-pound woman because I was lazy. Know your projections. Know your personality. Know who you are. If it's trauma, my dear sister, please reach out for help. There's hope. There's healing. Set your goals and make them one plan at a time. I want to leave you with encouragement. I want to leave you with hope. There is hope. There is healing. But you have to work for it. You cannot compromise. There is no room in this journey for you to compromise. But there's also no room for shame. There is no room for shame. There is no room for defeat. You have this. I believe in you. I am just a few months ahead of you in this journey. And let me tell you, when you get to maintenance, it doesn't get easier. That's why I want you to get at this side of the journey. I love you. I'm fighting for you, and I mean it with everything in me. Thank you for taking time to watch this. Thank you for letting me cancel class tonight. Thank you for letting me share my heart with you. I am fighting for you. Let's figure out what self-sabotage practices you have in your life right now. And let's be willing to tackle them one at a time. You know what? This is not an instant road. This is a lifestyle. This is a journey. This is something we're self-discovering about ourselves every day. Okay? You're not there yet, but you're almost there. You're headed in the right direction. You are headed in the right direction. My heart loves you so much. You have an amazing day, and I'm praying for each and every one of you.